Hello and welcome to AniPod. We're the newest and coolest vloggers in the vlogosphere. It's your boys, Matt Paul, Glen Paul, and yours truly, Callum Paul, here to talk about the coolest anime direct from Japan.
That is actually the best intro you've ever come up with, actually.
I hate you guys. I hate this. I hate you
topical.
so much.
That was super good.
It's topical. Nobody's going to watch if we don't say that we're the new Pauls in town. Everyone's abandoned Logan Paul.
Join the Cowlang, the Cow Gang. Fuck.
The cow gang.
We should rename ourselves to the AniPod.
Callum, all your female fans can be called cowgirls.
And speaking of female fans, if you look in the description, you can click our merch link real quick and buy a Maverick t-shirt. And also, check us out on iTunes because we finally did that. And with the amount of you motherfuckers who have complained the entire amount of time we have done these podcasts inconsistently, you better go on there and give us a fat rating. Do it for the Pauls. Do it for the Cow Gang.
You know, I actually I was talking to Russ and he messaged me saying, "Oh, congratulations on getting the podcast onto iTunes."
You didn't even do anything.
I didn't know it was on iTunes.
I mean, I didn't really do anything either. But you know,
it was mostly our friend on the Anime I Brought podcast. We're just
don't talk about the competition, dude.
Yeah, because I realised for some reason AniPod's on their site.
Yeah, that's
the only way to get
Jared,
because we needed the RSS
feed. Pretty much.
Regardless, we're on iTunes now, and now we're going to talk about Winter 2018 anime.
Wait, this is assuming that we've watched every single series this season.
Callum, it's okay. We're compensating for the fact you don't actually watch anime. It's okay. It's only an anime podcast. We don't need to watch anime. It's okay.
Thank you.
So, Callum, of the one show you watched?
I've watched 3 shows, actually.
Dude, we literally had a conversation beforehand where you said 2. Violet Evergarden.
Violet Evergarden.
Yeah.
It counts.
I guess I can start with that.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess that's a show we've all watched.
Has Glen, have you seen it yet, Glen? The first episode?
I could have seen it at Anime Expo, but I didn't because I forget why. I was having too much fun to go watch anime. Haha. But I watched it raw just several hours ago, and I'm pretty sure it's already subbed. So I'm good. I got it. It's easy. It was pretty good.
Yeah. I really, really liked it a lot more than I thought I would, because everyone was... So there was a load of hype for this throughout the entirety of last year, but so little people actually saying what it's about.
Yeah, I actually read the book.
Oh yeah,
and it was really funny seeing what people thought it was about because the PVs really did not explain what it is because it's
oh god no.
My favorite thing about it is people watching it today and being like, her name is Violet Evergarden.
yeah, that surprised me upon my first viewing. I was like, what the fuck?
No,
because I was surprised because it was because originally she's introduced as Violet. And so for the first half of the episode, you're like, Violet. I guess it's gonna be about she's gonna go to a garden or something, and that'll be the Evergarden.
Titles tend to not be that direct. It definitely takes name dropping the series title to a whole nother level, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. Then there was that point where she's adopted. It's like, oh, this is the Evergarden residence. It's like, oh fuck, really? The series is just her fucking name?
It's not.
In some countries, they've localized it as just Violet as well. So it seems like the second part isn't even relevant.
Why? Why get rid of the Evergarden? I don't understand. What?
I don't... because it's just a name. You can call her by her first name. You could call her by both names. There's got no meaning apart from that.
Why not just localize it as Evergarden then?
Name.
What's the point of getting rid of one if you're not...
I don't know. I can't remember which country it was that... got it localized to just Violet, but I mean, it works. It doesn't have any extended meaning beyond that.
That's silly. That's silly.
I mean, Beatless is this season, and that's got they're robots, so they don't have a heartbeat. But then it's about them learning to love and emotions and shit.
Man,
So
that
there's a
that
deeper
show,
meaning to that.
I don't
but-
think I want to. I like Beatless. I look at it and I'm like, eh. It's directed by the guy who did Ungo, the original FMA,
Seiji
Seiji
Mizushima.
Mizushima. Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
And it looks like Guilty Crown, but not Guilty Crown because it looks terrible.
yeah, Guilty Crown's actually good though. Clap. The two people in the world in the podcast right here who will defend Guilty Crown.
Oh
They
my
love
shoe, man.
Guilty Crown in Singapore, and I swear that I bet that's why they decided to promote Beatless in Singapore specifically, because they knew it had that sort of connection.
They didn't really promote it in Singapore though. They just gave us a premiere of the PV.
It was one of the featured anime, and
It
they had
was,
Seiji Mizushima talking about it. Were you there for the panel?
Yeah, but he barely talked about it, or he just really said nothing about it for that entire panel.
He just hid it. He just hid in his hands, and he was like, "I can't believe I'm the one directing this." Because it really doesn't.
No,
look,
actually,
it really looks.
At AFA Singapore, that actually did bother me because they brought Haruka Fujita up. Haruka Fujita is this up and coming director at KyoAni. She was originally like a key animator, but she's saying that
series director
I'm
on
pretty
Violet
sure.
Evergarden. KyoAni is continuing the thing where they have like 2 directors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Fujita, I think, is going to be the next big name.
Oh,
at
no, yeah,
KyoAni.
she's super
and
good.
They only gave her, I think, 2-3 lines to say anything, and most of it was just that one presenter saying that, oh wow, KyoAni, like the staff, all of them are just like beautiful women. Like, I hope they come back on stage.
Yeah. Yeah. So what the? Because
He kept on hitting on her too. I swear.
man.
yeah. It was such a bizarre thing, and they're like, "Oh, thank you," but it's just clearly awkward up there. It's like, oh, I'm meant to be a director. I'm meant to be making anime, and I'm here being hit on by some weird presenter.
Yeah, it's like that sort of stuff can like keep them from going to other events. It's like, come on, please don't openly
Yeah.
sexually harass people on top of the stage. Maybe I don't know.
They had so many people on stage, and for some reason they decided we should give them all equal time speaking, even though one of them was a cosplayer who decided to turn up as Violet, and so the amount of time that Fujita had to talk about the anime's production and what they were doing with it was the same amount of time that this cosplayer had to talk about their costume. Which is great, but it's like, why couldn't they be in a cosplay panel or something?
Yeah, pretty much. And they had other people on there too. Akiko Takase, the character designer, was also on there.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
Dude, he is. I love him. I love him very much.
Who?
Takase.
Yeah.
Takase is a
Oh,
she.
her.
Wait, you just said he though.
No,
That's why I got confused because I thought it was a she.
I never used the
You
pronoun.
said he, dude. I got it recorded. I promise. Because I knew she was a she, and then you said he, and I was like, I guess
Wait,
I'm wrong.
did I say he,
You
Callum?
definitely said he.
I didn't hear he.
I'm more, dude. I'm
heard
confident in
no
myself,
gender
but I'm not
pronouns.
confident when my own friends fucking say the opposite of what I think, and I don't want to get bullied. All right.
Anyway, let's assume that nothing was said and we could continue this podcast.
Takase has like
being friends.
very obscenely detailed like designs. Like the amount of lines in her
Oh, yeah.
designs are ridiculous, and I think that's the main reason I'd consider Violet Evergarden to be probably the most technically accomplished KyoAni TV anime. I don't know if it's gonna beat like Koei or the upcoming UFO movie, but there's just ridiculous sequences with too much detail, and it bothers me because I know somebody had to animate that.
I'm not sure if it got published anywhere, but a friend of mine just sent me a load of notes from a panel on Violet Evergarden at KyoAni Festa, and they were saying that they made those designs so complex, kind of as a way of standing out. I mean, they complained about it. They said, we made this way more difficult for ourselves, but we think that the show will really stand out with really complex designs. And also a lot of the emotions are going to be really subtle, so you need that detail to be able to show it, because they're not going to be... Violet is not going to exaggerate. She's just been back from war.
That's the thing. Like, actually talking about the series outside of its production, Violet Evergarden is... The book itself isn't exactly about Violet herself, despite the name of the book. It's about her, obviously, but it's mostly about like the letters she delivers and about those people. It's more important about those people. It's about, but the thing is, I cannot recall the interview, but it was with the director, and he said that, what did he say exactly? He said he wants to turn Violet Evergarden more into like a continuous thing, so it's more, the series, the anime is adapting it to be more about Violet and her changes over time with these multiple people.
I mean, that makes sense.
But that's good, because like the problem with the book is Violet is a blank slate. I don't think it really never negated the book's like overly rich, ripe, emotional like backdrops to every single character it introduced, but Violet herself was always just the messenger, the person there. She never really did much outside of events. She never had the emotion to really assist in those emotional narrative bindings. Like, the emotion is found on a more abstracted level in the book. Well, I think the anime is going to be more direct with it, which I don't know if I'll like that or not, because I liked the book a lot, but I would never recommend the book to anybody.
Would you not? I think the rhetoric is actually really well done in that novel. And one thing about the novel that's really interesting was, from the very beginning, it tells you that these people like Violet are robots. In the show, they don't openly ever refer to her being a robot. They don't use the term robot or artificial at all for Violet ever.
Ningyo.
Ningyo. They do use doll, but doll
Which
can
is
also
often used to refer to
someone's
robots.
personality too.
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
Because you could have just assumed that she's like RCAnime, in which she doesn't show much emotion.
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of characters like that who aren't artificially made.
Yeah, what I'm taking from it is that she just has been in a war her entire life and is like now just closed off to social situations and just doesn't totally get it.
But obviously that affected her, but I feel like it's implied that even if that wasn't the case, she probably never would have gotten to know emotion until this point in her life. Not like that matters actually, really. But I feel like beyond like a generalized insistence on a cliche of living life to the fullest and finding yourself, I probably will really like Violet Evergarden. Like, leading up to it, I didn't think I would like it as much as I did like that first episode, because I didn't believe it would get past that cliche. But since Fujita is actually there to imbue more of a visual elegance to the directing, because to be honest, Matt and I talked about this quite a bit leading up, just from like PVs, and I know Matt had seen it before I did. The director, Ishidate.
Oh yeah.
I don't think the storyboards were very strong from Ishidate, to be honest.
No, his framing is actually very bland in terms of a lot of it is just medium shots, pretty much.
Yeah, it does feel pretty conservative.
Which is interesting, because the setting plays a pretty important part, because it's a post-war sort of European-inspired place, yet you don't really get to see a lot of it in the backdrop, because the medium shots always have people taking up most of the frame.
Kind of. I still felt like, especially they took the tram in one part. I think those sort of moments were great for kind of exploring what this town is, where the inspirations are.
Yeah, and that's that's where Takase comes in again, where she has there is such elaborate, ridiculous, outrageous sequences with complex camera work that like the drawings can really make you forget about the boring framing. Like I like Ishidate. He's just the weakest. He's the weakest of the strongest at KyoAni. It's really rough.
At any other studio, he'd be hailed as like the top director.
No.
Yeah.
At some studios, he'd be hailed as the top director.
Like Ishidate has done good work occasionally, but Violet Evergarden just feels so bland and safe. But like I said, Kiko Takase.
Akiko Takase.
It's just a shame that like one of the key shots of the episode looked so awkward. The scene with the letter flying.
Oh, that one? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real shame for me because that could have been the mind-blowing shot of the episode.
I think it might have went on for a bit too long.
Yeah, and it went on long enough for people to realize that doesn't look quite right.
Yeah, the balance of it is a bit off, and they use CG elements to sort of create a 3D space, but I feel like the weight of it is a bit light, so that's why it feels off.
It's a bit light, and it's too obvious. This sounds weird, but it's too obviously 2D. It's too obviously a flat plane on top of a 3D background. It's like the compositing and it wasn't quite there for trying to make
this is
distance.
This is something that's very technical, but I think one of the mistakes that they made was on the scene where they pan around the ship, there's a lot of confetti and ribbons, just ribbons flying all over. And then there's tons of people in the crowd and the camera just keeps on moving. The thing about Pixel technology a lot of the time is that
Go on.
How pixels work is a pixel tells another pixel that, oh, this color is going to be this color in a few seconds and whatnot, and that's like where we get like 1080p and all that and like 4K. But the one thing is that most television screens, most computer screens, just most any digital screens can't capture very, very dense images, like images with lots of snow, images with lots of rain, images with lots of gradient, which is why sometimes when you watch anime where there's shots of rain or snow or confetti, it feels a bit pixelated and you wonder why, because you're watching it in at least 720. And that's because the only way you can compress the files for it to be watched on television or digitally on the internet is to compress it. And by compressing it, the pixels have to cheat in a way, saying that, okay, this color is going to be this color, but since that would just make the file way too fucking big and we can't compress it to that level, we have to essentially just sort of shade it a bit. So it's this weird illusion that normally works pretty well on images that are simple, but when it becomes too dense, when there's too many layers of stuff going on, it kind of just all falls apart.
You know, Matt?
Yeah.
You're a smart guy.
No, that should have been like a 5-second explanation. It took so fucking long.
I had a vague idea of that, and I understood perfectly. You're very good at conveying it. I'm proud of you. But honestly, I feel like there's not much to say from just one episode. Actually, didn't you guys watch 2 episodes at Singapore?
No.
Only 1?
2 episodes were shown at KyoAni Festa, but they only brought 1 episode to AFA.
Yeah.
I guess my be-all, end-all of it, of like expecting more, is, well, Takemoto, I'm pretty confident we'll have an episode at some point, but just like, even outside of Ishidate probably storyboarding quite a few of the episodes, every bit of conflicted feelings on the framing, every beat, every animated cuts, just even the music, which is done by an American from like Pennsylvania, like he combined, it's super good. I really like it. He combined like typewriter noises and like the sounds of like brush strokes. It's very good. It's very good. Which I guess that's showing that like the main Abyss composer, that they're starting to move outside of Japan and getting a lot more.
Oh, they've always had musicians from outside of Japan. 2 years ago, there was one for Asterisk War.
Oh, Rasmus Fabier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot over time. Musicians are particularly a job that they feel comfortable outsourcing.
I knew of a few others, but like
outside of Japan.
I didn't recall 2 being so close to one another. Main Abyss, Violet Evergarden, and also just 2 completely new people.
I mean, Kevin Penkin had done anime before. This is
he did Norn 9.
Oh my
He did
god.
No 9. He did Under the Dog. And
I forgot that existed. Ikahara helped on the opening, if I recall.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that show's not worth watching. Just forget that we
But the
said its
soundtrack
name.
is actually pretty good.
But it's got an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah?
I used that soundtrack throughout my Made in Abyss video because it hadn't been released.
Yeah, I feel like the one thing Callum and I always agree on is that Kevin Pinkin's a pretty good composer,
Okay.
Yeah.
especially with music, because Callum and I have very different opinions when it comes to music. He likes Hayashi for some reason.
I very much like Yuki Hayashi. I sent him a video as part of like a birthday message, and he sent a response to all of the people that sent the video message.
I saw that. Your face on there along with everyone else. There was like a kid from Indonesia and like someone from India and like someone from maybe Africa or South America, and then there's just you, like the whitest kid on the screen.
But it was really nice. He sent that response on Instagram, and then he like privately sent all of us like this video of him like thanking us all, and then showing his dog. And yeah, unfortunately, he said like don't show this to anyone else. Don't release it publicly. Don't show it on social media because he's too embarrassed by like the video.
All right. So
but
for all we know, you could be lying to us, huh?
We could have just all agreed, like, let's just tell everyone we got a private response from him.
I believe it. Back on what I was saying, I distracted myself and got you guys distracted. There's a very much an operatic rhythm with Ishidate, but the director isn't the be-all, end-all. Fujita's there, Takase's there, and a bunch of expressful, undeniable talents at Kyoto Animation doing the cuts. So, like, even though Ishidate's the director, KyoAni has way too many talented people for any project of theirs to ever really be disappointing, genuinely.
Unless it's Phantom World.
Fuck you!
Chunibyo, yeah.
Dude, what?
Oh,
Hello?
Take On Me, that's out. Who's gonna watch that? I don't know anyone who's gonna watch that.
I didn't like Chunibyo.
I don't like Chunibyo Season 2, but Chunibyo Season 2 is funnier than most. It's funnier than Pop Team Epic, that's for sure.
Okay, we're gonna transfer into that.
Unless you have anything else you want to say about Violet Evergarden.
No, I mean, I love the series, but yeah, from what I've heard about the light novel, I'm apprehensive about where it's gonna go next. But then I'm excited about seeing different stories as part of this world. So
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see.
There's some good shiz, even, and like I said, they're doing the adaptation different, and I think it'll be better for it, etc. Pop Team Epic sucks.
Okay, yeah. Pop Team Epic is. I mean, I watched the start of it and I was like, I quite like this. And about a quarter of the way through, I started to like have that moment of self-reflection. It's like, why was I laughing there? Oh no, it was just because they showed that, and I realized it was just because they showed that bit from Skyrim.
Yeah.
I assume, isn't it just watching a Shooting Stars video that's 20 minutes long?
Yeah, it's
kind of.
Yeah, that's a really
basically a lot of them are really old memes. I remember when people used to make Skyrim memes about that shot at the start.
Yeah, and everyone still recognizes it now. Like 7 years
people still
later.
recognize it, and that was it. That was just the recognition of things, and I think that's the only part that I like find funny about Pop Team Epic. The fact that there's like, oh, that's a meme. That's a thing that
it's
I
a
enjoy.
huge meme show, and guess what? I'm gonna watch all of it. Well, actually, I mean, I will. I'll watch half of it. If there's no way every episode is gonna be like the first one, I'd hope.
I wonder. I mean, the fact that they did that joke, because the joke is like a reference to the manga where they joked about who they'd get to voice act them.
And it was two famous voice actors. I think both of them were from Touch, a very, very old anime. Like two like very famous voice actors that like way before Pop Team Epic ever had a chance at an anime, before it had any sort of popularity. They made that joke, I believe. And it's like, I'm gonna keep watching it because I want to see what it does. But like, it's the same way when I'm browsing Twitter. I see a meme and I breathe out my nose and then I keep scrolling. It's like that. It's not really. I feel like it's funnier in manga form, but you know.
I found myself skipping through parts of the episode. There was parts that I just found so unfunny that I was like, can we just get to the next skit? Because that's kind of what I do with that's kind of because I love watching sketch shows because you know for a fact that if there's a sketch and it's a bit dull, drags on a bit, like not very funny, then you know for a fact that the next one has a much better chance of being better. Like because you're going through all of these things, and the chances of all of them being boring is quite slim.
Yeah, I was trying to pinpoint exactly when like this internet culture, like sort of joke meme thing, like took over comedy in a way, and I realized it. Do you know that skit from SNL, Saturday Night Live? Like the one, ooh, what you said?
That's the best skit. That's the best SNL
that's an
skit.
amazing skit, and I feel like that is the skit that has led to this sort of comedy taking over.
Really? I thought it was Bad Luck Brian or something.
I don't even know what that is, dude. I'm just
You don't know Bad Luck Brian? That was from high school era.
Oh, that meme. Oh, you mean like just the picture?
Oh, you mean OG memes?
when
No,
it was just pictures with words
memes
over
are
them.
completely different from that. Like those are
I know,
memes,
but that was
like,
the beginning. Those were prehistoric memes.
The idea
Those
that,
are like memes v fucking one. I can't believe I forgot. Like I feel like 5 years ago I would have been like, oh yeah, but now I just completely feel like it's blanked from my memory.
Yeah.
Oh, those were terrible.
Because memes like become popular for a quarter of a year and then they die out. Look at that boy. That boy lasted for 1 or 2 months.
Dude,
I'm so happy it's gone.
I had some fun with that boy.
What? I loved that boy.
That boy was a good one.
That boy was one of my least
fun.
favorite memes. And can we stop talking about memes right now? Can we talk about my favorite show of the season so far, Sola Yoli Motoi Basho,
Please tell me the English title.
or A Place Further from the Universe.
Thank you.
The show about Antarctica, in a way.
The show that has penguins that you haven't watched.
I mean, penguins haven't appeared yet.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
I mean, to be fair, they're in the OP. Like
I've watched both the OP and the ED, which both feature penguins.
All right, cool.
So.
Atsuko Ishizuka.
Is my wife.
Well, then you...
Yeah.
I mean...
No Game, No Life. Hanayamata.
Are you going to say the other one?
Sakura So.
I mean...
Oh, there's another one that everyone forgets about.
Prince of Stride?
Prince of Stride, yeah.
Well, I don't forget Prince. I don't forget Prince of Stride, but I just know I'm the only one who watched it, so why bring it up?
I watched episode 1,
Cool,
and
dude.
I was like, no, but I think Prince of Stride has some relevance to episode 2 of A Place Farther Than Universe.
Have you seen it, Callum?
I've seen a clip from it.
Oh, are you talking about the running sequence?
The running sequence.
Dude, that running sequence is way different. That's way different than Prince of Stride.
The running sequence is beautiful. I haven't seen Prince of Stride, but the running sequence around Shinjuku is gorgeous. It is the best running sequence ever.
Fun fact.
In anime.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Ishizuka didn't know running was a thing until she directed Prince of Stride.
Exactly.
Yep, there you go.
Exactly. Nobody ever ran in anime. They just walked. But she invented running.
Yeah.
I mean, the feeling of speed just from the visuals alone was amazing. That shot where they pan over her walking over the overway in the neighborhood. She's walking on an overpass, and just the lights are everywhere. It's so visceral, and honestly, despite the fact that the scene isn't meant to be thrilling in the sense that it is for like a horror thriller, it's still exhilarating.
Yeah.
And I love that show. That show really just, as someone who loves to travel a lot, that show just speaks to me personally. And one of the great things that it captures about traveling is the fear of both traveling to somewhere unknown and also the fear of not doing it and regretting it later. And you always fall into this place that's in between a hard place and a rock. And I feel like the show captures that emotion perfectly because sometimes there are challenges that go into it. Like me, I'm going to Iceland next month and I'm planning on climbing a snow mountain and I'm gonna fucking regret it. I know it, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Why are you going to Iceland?
I don't know why he's going nice.
Because Antarctica is too hard to get to, so I have to go up north.
Oh my God.
You have to go the furthest place from Antarctica.
So AniPod in a month will be canceled when Matt falls off of a mountain. So
When I die.
Yeah, when Matt dies.
We can find a replacement. We can find someone. Don't worry, Matt. If you want to slip off a mountain and die, we'll fill your spot.
There's so many ways I can die in Iceland, actually.
Why are you going to Iceland, dude? I don't understand.
Because it's adventurous.
Come to Columbus, be adventurous.
It's probably not even going to be snowing. Like, it's
Oh, it will
probably
be.
just gonna be.
It will be
Cold
winter in
and-
Iceland. But anyways, back to the show. Yeah, it's very visceral. So far, it's been very consistent.
And I agree with you. It's my favorite show of the
animation.
season for sure. So far, anyway.
Yeah.
It's very assured. Like it's kind of pure commentary in a way, and that it goes far beyond the observation of how we as people always get caught up in our kind of own cynical greed to be on top of society, to do something that is recognized, something that we want people to recognize. But instead, it's kind of about taking down that idea and doing what you want, doing something you shouldn't do, and that moralizes but to wit, everyone, like, it does, it's so far, it moralizes its characters just enough, and I think that's literally the point, is that these characters are people, and we have to look at them as people. So, but okay, I'm going crazy. I'm very tired. I was more awake when we were gonna record at 8 a.m. and then Callum bailed, but now it's midnight. It marries the text and structure of society against the against the cynicism to society. I don't know.
Do you want to say?
Are you okay?
Do you want to say this?
I don't
in,
know
like,
what I'm saying
normal
anymore.
language. Because you just. I just heard a jumbling of words.
Okay, the show's got good characters. It's got penguins. There's a lot of snow. It's great.
Dude, okay, I had it at first. You guys understood what I meant at first, right? And then I just completely lost it. All right.
I kind of blanked out partway there.
You were trying too hard.
Because I don't know any other way to phrase it. There's not a simple way to phrase it.
Glen, I'll give you something. All right, vignettes. There you go.
Thank you. I feel relieved when I hear that word. That's a word I know I can say and not sound like a fucking retard.
You sure?
Yeah. Well, you guys have made me a bit cynical of the word, but Ishizuka is definitely like one of the last top people at Madhouse after like its collapse of anybody talented. The only person I really care about that's still there, besides maybe a few animators.
It's like 3 directors that now consistently work with Madhouse, and one of them I feel isn't going to stick around that long.
Which one?
The Noriyuki Ito. He did Overlord. He's doing Overlord this season 2, and he did a film at Madhouse. But those are and they've done like a couple episode direction. But I feel like he's not an employee at Madhouse, he just seems to be stationed there for now.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst the other 2 directors, Mori Osaka doing Cardcaptor Sakura and Ishizuka are kind of mainstays. It feels like they're not going anywhere.
I mean, yeah, I guess that kind of brings it to like Cardcaptor Sakura. I know neither of you have watched the new series. I don't even know if either of
I
you
haven't
watched the
original.
I haven't watched the original.
Well, that's a mistake. The original is wonderful.
It never aired on the channels that I watched back as a kid.
I watched it.
I
like, in
didn't. I
2011.
don't know what I watched when I was a kid. Thomas the Tank Engine, I think.
I watched Pokemon.
I watched Camp Laszlo. I don't
mean-
recommend doing that.
I watched Camp
I
Lazlo.
watched
Now
Camp Lazlo.
that's an anime that needs a remake.
Like it reunited parts of like the original staff, and that's good. That's good. It got back what's his name? I don't really care. Asaka. He directed the original and all that, but like I feel like so much of the staff has left that worked on the original that Clear Card Hen, while the original was vibrant and felt genuine in every like single new innovation it did. It was the top of the game at the time, like before digital animation took over and all that. Like,
Yeah.
but this one feels like it's trying too hard to replicate that vibrancy. Like it's almost authentically fabricated in a way, which is at the same time an insult. like a criticism, but also a compliment. Because
'cause
Asuka
it's what
obviously,
people want from it.
Asuka was there. He understands Cardcaptor Sakura. He understands what it is, but I feel like his old understanding of it is kind of to the new series' own detriment. Like, the ED was adorable. I got to admit, I love that ED for the new series. But like the OVA before it in this first episode, it just doesn't have that same essence, that same magic that I really, really loved about the original Cardcaptor Sakura.
Do you feel like it's more similar to Chihaya Furu than it is to the original? Because he directed that as well.
No, yeah. Ever since Chihaya Furu, like when he did Ore no Monogatari or whatever, or My Love Story, like when he got to that and like a bunch of the episodes he directed, it just seems like since Chihaya Furu he's been going downhill, because like that style became his like more modern style in Chihaya Furu, but it doesn't work for Cardcaptor Sakura in my opinion. So yeah, it does feel more like Chihaya Furu than it does the original Cardcaptor Sakura. Like the characters are there, so I'm sure a bunch of people are going to be like, the characters are all the same. Like, you know, they're just kind of, they're grown up, they're moving on, they're kind of just doing things. It's a sequel.
Yeah.
So of course it's going to feel like Cardcaptor Sakura because it's the same characters, but it isn't the same one. It isn't.
I mean,
and
yeah.
I don't think I've seen anyone like repeat what I'm saying now. I don't know. I haven't looked at it seen what people have said about it. I honestly don't know anyone who's seen the original and is watching the new one. But the original Cardcaptor Sakura was just so universal in that no matter when you watched it, I feel like it had the same effect on almost everyone. A profound impact even. Like the original Cardcaptor Sakura, when I watched it like in 2011, hit me at such a place in my like high school adolescence that it really, well, was it high school or was that junior high? I can't recall actually the time, but it
probably would have been your junior high.
Yeah, junior high. Like I feel like it defined a lot of my more adult convictions, if I can call myself an adult. And this new one it bothers me. And I don't know if it bothers anyone else, and that bothers me too.
I do feel like so over the years, I've seen a lot of stuff shared about the original Cardcaptor Sakura.
Super good.
And yeah, and those original those scenes that everyone seems to post constantly again and again, the ones that really defined their love for the series. From what I've seen of the new series, it doesn't seem to have match up at all. Like,
yeah, I haven't read Clear Card Hen, but I just doubt it can reach that same level that the original had with any event it has. And I think that mostly, I think that like whether that comes down to Asuka and the like not having most of the original staff, like having a lot of the people that made it magical, or if it just comes down to the material.
Would you say this is just the problem with reboots and that things just end up changing?
The thing is, I would love if it changed. If Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card Hen was completely different, I feel like I'd be more accepting of it. But like, go to Ryuuou no Yatterman, go to fucking Gatchaman Crowds. Those things are completely different from the originals. And both of those, well, Ryuuou no Yatterman less so, phenomenal.
I liked Yatterman Night.
I liked it. No, I liked it too. It's just, you watched all of it, didn't you?
I did watch all of it, yeah.
So, come on, some of the middle bits were like, come the fuck on.
I liked the only problem that I had was the ending. I didn't.
Did you watch the finished episode of that, by the way, or did you? Because like the TV broadcast.
I watched the TV broadcast.
The TV broadcast is so fucked up, and
yeah,
it's because of like how ambitious they were. Because this was like another. I feel like we say it a lot on AniPod, but that's because it's becoming more and more prevalent in anime. The digital generation, they were so ambitious, like or like early on the first episode of Ryuuou no Yatterman's fucking awesome, and then the last episode I feel like could also be that same level, but it was ambitious. It was the worst time to be ambitious because the production was already not doing so hot. But the finalized Blu-ray episode with everything done is actually, it is a profound like technical accomplishment, I'd say. You should definitely like get around to just even watching it raw. I don't know if anyone
Yeah, I might just watch that just specifically that last episode. But then I wasn't totally impressed with the narrative. Anyway, but
I know neither of you have seen
so-
it. I don't know. If anyone wants to like comment who's actually seen the original, because
the original
the original Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yeah.
I mean, that was mostly what that entire bit was about. It's like all of it, but you know, we'll see. Dude, Clear Card Hen could be good. It's just that like those like lead up OVAs in the first episode, besides the ED, just it loses it for me, etc.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it would have been better as like a sort of catch from crowd sort of thing where it's new characters but the same ideas and the same concepts and the same world.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that a large part of what, because everyone I've spoken to tells me that they felt that the original Cardcaptor Sakura ended perfectly.
Yeah, there was
Like,
really no need.
Of the series that people talk about when they say, "Oh, which ending did you really appreciate?" People often reference Cardcaptor Sakura. So it feels. I've heard from some people that they're like, "Oh no, I'm just not gonna watch this series because I don't want that ending to be negated. I don't want this story to continue. It's done." So maybe something new would have really helped.
Okay, I have a question for you, Matthew Lee and Callum May.
Were you gonna say Matthew Lee?
Like I said, I'm very tired. How do you spend your lonely, sleepless nights?
Is this
I've
about
been,
Ryuuou no Oshigoto?
No.
Oh.
I've been watching Robot Wars.
I'm just gonna say though, Glen, Ryuuou no Oshigoto is probably one of the most illegal shows that I've enjoyed in a while.
Answer my question first, damn it.
What answer do you want
What's the
from us?
question, really? I don't know.
I asked, how do you spend your lonely, sleepless nights?
And I said, watch Robot Wars.
I'm not a lonely person. Don't put me in your
How do you
spectrum.
think I spend my lonely, sleepless nights? Because I'm obviously lonely.
On N hentai?
Yeah, that's a place. Yeah, I watch anime and masturbate. That is what I do. And this is about Ryuuou no Oshigoto. Matt got me immediately.
Was it really? I know you too well. That's too.
This is not
dangerous.
the opening that we want for
I mean-
that show.
I mean, it originally wasn't about it, but Matt turned it to it. Dude, God bless. I get Matt. I get what you mean completely.
Okay, finally, Drigatsu no Lion got good. I'm just saying. I've never seen the anime, but I've seen the live action film, so I know.
Come on, that's not fair.
I'm gonna say I know what I'm talking
It's
about.
not a fair comparison, dude.
The live action films are all right, I guess. I don't really know, but
You said you watched. Whatever. Tell me about it. Why do you enjoy it so much? Because I recommended this to everybody before it aired.
I don't know why I like it. That's what I'm worried about.
Okay, listen.
Okay.
We both know it's problematic. We both know that. We both know I don't give a fuck. Like, I watch the most problematic stuff and I'll be like, fucking mommy, daddy, and I'll say some stuff that I probably actually genuinely mean, but you just think I'm joking. And that's okay.
I mean, I'm happier that way.
I just want to talk about how
I think the world is better that way.
one of the animators at Project Number 9 on Twitter posted pictures of herself cosplaying Hina because she loves Hina so much. She loves animating Hina so much that like she is animated Hina while dressed as Hina. And I think that like that has made me the happiest I could ever be, like seeing that photo and knowing that that's something that happened. Do you know the premise, Callum?
Where there's the genius at shogi, and then she's like an upcoming child genius at shogi.
It's a teenage shogi master who takes on a 9-year-old girl to be his disciple.
But the best character is
The sister.
the sadist girl. Yeah, the sister.
She's really good. All the girls are really good. Dude, Callum, I think you'd like it.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
like No Game No Life, dude?
No, I don't.
What do you wait?
No,
yeah.
Callum hates No Game No Life.
I like No Game No Life Zero, the film.
No, my fault.
I don't think any of us like No Game No Life.
I mean, I sort of like it.
That was
but
a
not that
running
much.
joke with us that everyone in Anifix hated No Game No Life.
We haven't talked about it in so long.
Well, I don't think we need to.
I mean, I was gonna bring it up with Ishizuka because I felt like she's finally she finally understands composition.
Learn how to use colors.
Yeah, she understands. She understands composition now. Like she has like improved drastically, and it's.
Well, I mean, she finally has an original series as well, so things are kind of like more in her hands.
Yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, No Game No Life Zero actually has like a narrative reason for the lighting in the original No Game No Life. It's great.
That's funny actually. What?
I mean, it's not addressed within speech, but you can sit you sit there and you watch the world become that aesthetic.
The fact that it's addressed in any sort of capacity, though, is hilarious.
Yeah. The fact that I could sit there and say, okay, I see what you're doing here. Because the entire No Game No Life Zero film looks, I mean, it's got the same character designs and all those things that the TV series has, but it doesn't have that overbearing lighting and all the outlines and things until the very end when stuff happens.
I'm looking forward to watching it. Maybe we can finally say we like No Game No Life.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
What do you? Well, I mean,
I'm saying
you like
No Game No Life Zero.
I know, but that's No Game No Life.
There's a part of the film where they go back to the original cast, and that's the worst part of the film.
Ah, really?
Yeah, I mean, like just for like, because it's kind of the film is presented as a story being told by one of the characters, and so like it's bookended by these two bits with the original recognizable cast.
I was really interested when I saw it wasn't like the same people, like technically. So I'm looking forward to watching it. But back on to Ryuuou no Oshigoto.
Do we have to?
Yeah.
Is there anything else to say about it?
I gotta convince Callum to watch it. Callum. So the Kono light novel Ga Sugoi 2017 contest, and also I think 2016, Ryuuou no Oshigoto
won both of them.
Yeah, won both of them. And like
people were mistaken by saying that ReZero won last year. They came second to this.
Well, to be fair, the rankings are like they're pretty misleading because there's people and then there's choice, and like it's more of an advertising thing than a real contest. But
oh yeah.
But regardless, like when I saw it win the second time, I was like, must be good. So like, I like looked up digitally and like found like some of the Japanese versions. Like I found like I think the first volume was translated in English first, but then I read like I couldn't stop myself, and I think I read up to like volume 3 in Japanese. And like, Callum, listen. With every page, Callum, I was continually struck by the series' complexity, compassion, and deeper understanding of the pratfalls of adolescence. And I think you should watch it. Also, it's about a 9-year-old girl.
Yeah, I know. I heard it gets better when they start to introduce more characters that aren't that 9-year-old girl. I've heard good things about Volume 3.
It's honestly super fun. I do think you'd actually like it.
It's just one of those series where it's like, it feels like there's a wall between me, and that wall is probably the first, like, 6 episodes or whatever.
That wall is called prison.
Yeah.
Shockingly, when I downloaded it digitally, I didn't get a warning that, like, you shouldn't, like, reprint this. I got a warning that I was going to go to jail. Thankfully, I was in the United States, so worked out. All right, I'm done talking about it, Callum. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Record of Grancrest War.
Disgusting.
Let's talk about Ramen Daisuke Koizumi-san, which is a show about ramen eating in Tokyo, which is a huge part of like Tokyo culture.
I should point out the first episode made me mad because it started on rice noodles.
Wait, okay. What's your wait, Callum? All right, Callum. What's your ramen connoisseur? What's your preference in terms of broth or like soup base?
Like pork soup base, of course.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I just know like there's miso and there's like shiro something.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had ramen together, Callum, and
yeah, you ordered miso ramen and it was shit.
Yeah.
Miso ramen is always bad.
No, remember that one time I had ramen and the soup just splashed on my shirt and it ruined it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of ramen.
Really? I think you just ate it badly.
No, well, like, even in general, I'm not a big fan of noodles, but ramen daisuke koizumi makes me hungry for ramen, which is why I sort of love it.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of the ramen shops in Tokyo, like the fast pace of a lot of them. And also, some of them have slow paces too, and it's...
I don't like the fast-paced ones, though. I don't like the
I'm not a
rush,
big fan of the
yeah.
fast-paced ones either, but we said this last episode where, like, when you watch something that takes place in Tokyo, you normally don't feel the sense of Tokyo. Like, I can watch a TV show that takes place in New York and, like, feel that, oh, like, this really makes me nostalgic for the city. And them being in the ramen shops made me nostalgic for being in Tokyo, actually. It was one of the first times that's ever happened for me. And I just like it a lot. And one of the characters, who is a twin tail girl, is just amazing. I'm just gonna say that.
I'll watch it eventually. Just give me a minute. Like I don't think anyone else watched that show. It's such an under the radar show.
It's so aggravating that no one's watching it, because I do think it's one of the best shows going on this season right now.
There's a lot of good slice of life. There's RCAnime, which is
RCAnime is also great.
It's really great. Directional debut by some dude, don't know his name yet. I'll remember it after the show's done. There's the ramen show. There's a Slow Start, which I'm the only one who's watched it so far. It was super good, super well produced. Mitsubishi, what was it? Mitsubishi colors.
Yeah.
And that was cute. It was a bit.
Yeah, it's kind of Hanamaru Kindergarten.
It the designs reminded me so much of Ichigo Mashimaru. I probably went in with too high of expectations, and I still liked it a lot. But God, it just reminded me how much I love Ichigo Mashimaru. And also, like, it's about 3 girls, like, just fucking the cop. And that's the first episode. Wait, I mean, not like that. No.
Thank you.
Just destroying capitalism is what I mean. Like, fuck the man, etc.
Don't no. No.
What? Wait.
Not fuck the man.
Oh. Fuck.
Let's try it again.
I'm gonna stop saying the word fuck now.
Yeah. Thanks.
Dude, I'm sorry. When I'm tired, I go to the easiest words I can think of, and that is the F word. There's also the show, the other slice of life. What was it? It was the one with the girls who just drink alcohol or whatever. I can't recall the name though.
Oh yeah.
Well, I thought that was a short show.
Is it a short?
It is a short.
Oh, it is. Oh.
Oh, at least I think it is.
I think it's like half length.
Oh no, it's
Takunomi, right?
Takunomi. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a short show.
I don't know how long it is. It hasn't aired yet, but
I'm assuming maybe, I hope at least 15 minutes. Takashi Kashi is coming back as a short show, actually.
Yeah, who cares? Oh wait, oh yeah, it is short. Oh yeah, those are airing in the same block. I forgot. Takashi Kashi and the Tokunomi.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're gonna split a 20-minute block.
No, that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
I appreciate Takashi Kashi more as a short show. There's a lot of comedy stuff that I'd be like, I prefer this as a short show.
Yeah, Takashi Kashi in general just wasn't very funny though.
Oh, you know what show I prefer as a short show, actually? Takagi-san.
Fuck you.
Okay, hear me out, Glenn. You were talking about how Pop T Epic, you weren't really sure if it could go on like the first episode for the next 11 episodes or however how long. I don't know if Takagi-san can just stick with her teasing him for 12 episodes or however, 13 episodes.
It switches things up a tad. I would agree. Well, yeah.
It even felt repetitive in the first episode already.
Yo, Matt, maybe you just have bad taste, and maybe I hate you, okay? So listen. I think I would say it probably is better to read it than to watch it, but I just want to hear Takagi-san voiced and Nishikata voiced, okay? There's I don't know if
I think that does work better as a short show because the whole thing with
I want 20 minutes of them talking to each other, okay?
Okay, that's
all right.
Very specific.
This is just a personal, selfish reason, and I still think it's a very enjoyable show.
Yeah, I mean, I think Callum really like the original artist.
are bad people.
What, for wanting it to be shorter?
Yes.
So we can... Okay. I think saying something is should be a short show is not like not a slight against it.
It really isn't. I just want it to be full.
Let's not be short show racist, sir.
All right, since we let Matt talk about his ramen show, you can talk about Grancrest.
Yeah, fucking like for a moment there, I was like, oh, I'm glad I got to talk about wait. For some reason, recapping in my mind, I talked about Grancrest and then we'd moved on, but all I'd done is said I want to talk about it. Anyway, I think it is a great return to form for classic fantasy series, which we don't get enough of at all.
Do we not get enough of it? I feel like there's at least one primary show. At least.
I mean, Grancrest isn't like isekai, is I guess what you mean.
It's not isekai. It's maybe what I'm trying to say is that it's kind of European fantasy.
Yeah.
So like it's not inventing its own fantasy, but it's using the elements that we recognize to form a brand new story.
I mean, don't all high fantasy shows take European medieval elements? Yeah, like dragons, magic, feudal lords.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even the isekai show this season does fucking Death March, which I haven't read the novels for that, but I read the manga adaptation and
oh god, the trailer's appalling.
Okay, you're not wrong, but like I'm the only person out of us three that's willing to defend the most trashiest garbage.
The thing is, I have Death March. I've got the light novel. I haven't read it yet.
I haven't read the light novel. I read the manga, and I enjoyed it. Like, I mean, I enjoy most isekai, mostly because I'm a lonely person, and I like the idea of going to somewhere where I'm more important than I really am. But, you know, honestly, like, Grancrest takes more from, like, D&D fundamentals, in my mind.
Yeah.
At least when thinking of, like, the original series. Like, I watched the first episode of Grancrest, and it's definitely different. And, why the fuck is Shinichi Omata directing it? Please?
I don't know, but I'm happy with it.
I mean,
I don't think he was necessary for the series at all, but I definitely think he elevates a lot of the scenes.
Like, I was looking, as I always do, I go through it constantly, and I like look at staff and stuff, because I usually write about the shows before they air and stuff, and like read the novels, all that. And one day it updated, and it was like Shinichi Omata, and I'm pretty sure I vomited in my mouth. I was like, what the fuck?
But that shouldn't be a negative.
It's like, the thing is, Shinichi Omata's so good. And the thing is, it's so different. The Grancrest is so... It
is entirely
Did he
different
storyboard it? I didn't read the credits. Did he storyboard it?
I'm fairly sure he storyboarded episode 1.
Because, by the way, Shinichi Omata directed Rakugo.
And Sakura as well.
Yeah, well, yes.
Sakura is very popular.
Sakura... I'd actually agree with that. It is pretty popular. He did the first 2 episodes and the last episode of Sakura, and the first 2 episodes are impeccable. Mostly because I feel like that's when he initially left Shaft to go to Dean, and that's when a lot of like the he was able to free himself from some more Shaftisms that he had kind of acquired there, but he kind of changed those Shaftisms enough to turn it into Omata-isms, I guess.
Yeah.
He's a great director. And like Grancrest, it's like I saw like a million tweets about it. It was just like people watched the first episode and they were like, "What the fuck?"
It's like it's not the series that they wanted him to be on. Obviously, people wanted him to have his own original series.
It's like Christopher Nolan making a Green Lantern movie.
Oh my god! I love when really good directors get put on like things you would not expect them to be. Like, I really hope Grancrest continues, because I mean the first episode I wouldn't say...
David Fincher directing World War Z 2.
Wait, what?
That's real, yeah.
Okay.
David Fincher, the director of Gone Girl, Social Network, is making the sequel to World War Z 2.
That's not anime, but I know who David Fincher is. So
I'm just saying as a comparison.
I mean Fincher is one of the directors I actually care about outside of anime, so I do care, but okay. I like when like good directors get put on weird stuff. But I don't know if you have any more to say about Grancrest. I don't like it was okay. It was somewhat fun.
I feel like it's kind of, I've got kind of the opposite thing where when for sequels especially, when a sequel doesn't have the original director, I'm usually happy because it's like, oh, they're working on something else. But that might just be because I don't generally watch sequels. I'm usually satisfied by one
Grancrest
season of things.
isn't really a sequel to anything, though.
Oh, no, yeah, but Grancrest isn't a sequel, but I'm saying, like, in terms of having talented directors move around for different things.
Oh, no, yeah, I was super upset and super happy at the same time that Matsumoto wasn't on Kekai Sensen anymore.
Exactly, because it's like, okay, Kekai Sensen Season 2 probably won't be as great as Season 1.
And it still was, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, and it's still a really good series, like... but then at the same time, we know that she's probably working on something else. I like to see lots of different people take on lots of different ideas. The thing that makes me the most mad right now is that Kenshi Nagasaki is still doing My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I feel like he's restrained by the material a lot and producers, because I do think from Build Fighters he's talented, but my god, he does not display it in My Hero Academia. I'm sorry, My Hero Academia fans. It is a bland production outside of fucking Umakashi, and even he can't make it more bland than what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever. It's Hero Academia. Of course they were going to do a safe production and not let the director or Umakashi really go all out. But whatever. I feel like
I love the framing of Grancrest and everything that Hatakeyama or Amato is doing for it.
Okay.
And yeah, it's everything I wanted from this sort of series.
Okay.
It's a story about power and
power.
Yeah, but power.
It's like you definitely haven't had enough stories about power. Seeing the main character be so openly manipulated is just great to me. He's the strongest. He is very strong. A lot of the girl designs are super hot as well.
They are.
They are very attractive.
In a way, it's kind of Bayonetta-y, like the revealing.
Yeah, I can see that, I suppose. Yeah.
Almost sadistic.
All I know is the blonde girl has midriff, and I'm always a fan.
Yeah, there's a thing that a lot of people have been pointing out, that in the opening of the episode she says she doesn't like that outfit, but by the end, like a long time after, she's still wearing it.
Costs money for clothes, man. And I think at the end of that is
it's a floating cape though.
That's basically everything you've seen. And everything I've seen in full. There's a couple of things that I just stopped partway through. It's like next episode we record, like Dark in the Franxx, Koiwa Amegora no Yoni aired. Actually, I think that aired today, but
Hakume to Mikochi is one of my big ones. A lot of the series that I'm really excited about. No, the one about little people.
Oh, the Studio Lurch one?
Yeah, that's... Yeah, High Dive it's going to be on. I'm, like, a lot of the series that I'm the most excited for are this week, so...
Oh, with Studios show as well. Koi wa, like, Ame Gari?
That aired today, and I've read the manga for that. I like it a lot. It's, like, it's about a May-December relationship. So, like, a high school girl and an older guy, or vice versa, but this time it's the guy is older. It's not, like, exploitive. It's not disgusting. And like I can't recall the director, but basically it's a strong team who are doing it.
Which series is this?
Koiwa Amegora no Yoni. It's
that Wit Studio one.
Yeah.
The one with all I know about it is the current character designer for Pokemon for the next Pokemon movie. She drew a illustration for it.
I find it really weird that the director is Ayumu Watanabe, and like this guy before making this, he did like Kanojo ga Flag, so that's like the only other thing I know he's done. And
did he? The only thing I know him about was like Nazo no Kanojo X, like what was the Mysterious Girlfriend X?
Mysterious Girlfriend X, yeah.
That's the only thing I knew him from, but like
no, he did Kanojo ga Flag. That's
I'm. Did you finish that, Matt?
Unfortunately.
Dude. You can't tell me it didn't go places.
The ending was more ambitious than Evangelion's ending, that's for sure.
Agreed. Speaking of mecha shows, Darwin and the Franxx, I'm excited to watch that.
I'm excited for that as
What do
well.
you mean, speaking of mecha shows? We were just talking about a show about high school.
He said Evangelion.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, Cal, maybe you should listen to the conversation if you're going to be on AniPod, huh?
I was listening, I was just...
Regardless, that is basically all the winter shows at this point. We'll talk about them next week. We're recording I guess we're recording weekly, I guess, so...
Don't say that. If you say that, we're not going to do it.
Ivy, hey, I set up 2 in a row, didn't I?
You did, but
and we're all here recording 2 weeks in a row.
Please don't promise anything.
Oh my god, we didn't even talk about the new Fate or Overlord 2 or 7 Deadly Sins 2.
I mean, the new Fate hasn't
started?
aired yet.
None of it started, but I'm a Shaft dude, man. I know
Overlord
everything.
Came out a couple of hours ago.
Glenn, we didn't even talk about Citrus.
Oh my god, no! Citrus is so good, actually.
Anyway,
watch it. Watch it.
Citrus is pretty good, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Shut the fuck up, Callum.
I want girls to fuck girls. It's the only thing that's worthwhile in this stupid world. Nothing else matters.
Oh, there he goes.
End the episode.